in the video.
No. There it is.
You would know as CIO.
So then you need to turn that to go.
How's that?
All right. Okay,
Right.
all right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. This is the Monday, November 24th meeting of the select board. With me, I have clerk Ellen Rosenfeld, vice chair Craig Schultz. I am the chair, Erin Underhill. We have the town administrator, Mike Kaczynski, and the assistant town administrator, Karen Bray DeMarzo.
Not to be confused with the IT.
No.
Never would.
Okay.
Never.
Never, sorry. I'm like, what? That was very funny. All right.
Okay, so tonight we have a few interesting things on the agenda to discuss, and we will get right into it. First, we have some announcements. The first announcement is the upcoming Santa's Parade to the Bandstand. That is going to be Saturday, December 13th. There is a 4 o'clock lineup and the parade starts at 5 p.m. The parade route goes down 109 in front of the town hall, turns onto Park Road, circles the town park and brings Santa to the bandstand. So that's usually a great event, a lot of fun for the kids. So feel free to come on down. I'm planning to have my Girl Scouts there singing Christmas carols, so a little something to add to the fun. And then we also have upcoming a menorah lighting. The menorah lighting will be at the town hall on Tuesday, December 16th at 5:30. It is a giant menorah lighting with chocolate gelt. Thank you. Okay. Hanukkah music, donuts. It is open to the public for no charge. I've been to the menorah lighting before and it's a great event, so I encourage you all to go to that as well.
And I believe Senator Roche is going to join us.
Oh,
this year.
excellent, yes.
So,
Yeah, so Becca Roush will be there as well. We also have the Holly Jolly Fair coming up. It's a popular fair in Millis at the Church of Christ. It's an annual event. That will be Saturday, December 6th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. There'll be Christmas market, indoor and outdoor, silent auction, greens, food, and all sorts of crafts and stuff. So that's a fun event as well. Next, we are going to have an update on the middle high school project.
Yep. Yeah, I want to just dispel some stuff because the as
We'll start with the good news. It passed at the.
oh, it passed the town meeting.
There you
Yes.
go. Let's sit down steps.
It passed the town meeting overwhelmingly, which is terrific. So the next piece of this puzzle is the vote, which early voting started today. The hours and dates are on the website, front and center. You can't miss it. It's going to be all week at certain times. And then the real vote is Monday, a week from today, from 7 to 8, the hours.
Yeah.
I think so, here, right here at Town Hall. So please, 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 this is important. Come down and vote. So I've been talking to people around town and people are asking questions, help me understand this, blah, 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 blah. There's one piece of this that I want to, talk about tonight, just for a few minutes. I want to start by saying, the same thing that I said at town meeting, which is there's a lot of misinformation going around, of course, and we can't combat all of it, but we can combat this piece. And this is concerning that the Millis Middle High School was never maintained. And that is why it's in the condition it's in. That is not true. The building is almost 70 years old. It has been maintained throughout its life. Two pieces of that is, number one, the MSBA, the Millis School Building Committee, would not allow a renovation to take place if they felt that the building was in such bad shape that it wouldn't work. Because they don't want this town coming back in 20 years and saying, hey, sorry, you gave us 57 million, but now we need 100 million because we're gonna tear it down and build again. And number two, it has been maintained. The pieces of it that need improvement, mostly to do with infrastructure that's past its useful life. Probably past its useful life 2 or 3 times, but again, it's time to do that. And the third piece that's very, very important is teaching is very different today than it was 66 years ago. These small classrooms where you're siloed, it doesn't happen like that anymore. There's a lot of shared space. There's computer stuff that is so pertinent to today's learning. The security and safety of today's schools cannot even be really put into this the way it is, so it has to be refigured. The gym is probably the smallest gym around. So in order to take advantage of the MSBA funding, we decided to do the reno ad, and it puts 2 different wings, but then they have a shared space. So it has nothing to do with this ad reno, has nothing to do with us neglecting this building for 66 years. It has terrific bones. We have our town meeting in there. You can see that it's still standing, and it's in good shape for the shape it's in, as my mother used to say. So that's that piece. And then there's another piece that people are also talking about. And what they're talking about is they understand, they can say to me right out, listen, I know the school needs work, but I'm not happy with the way the town has spent money in the last 10 years. I think that the town spent on projects that it really didn't need to do. And now you're asking for one that, yeah, you probably need to do. I also made a speech at town meeting where I said I don't tend to go back and blame previous administrations. Why? It doesn't do any good. It doesn't move you forward. And there's no blame to be had here. The previous administrations did what they felt was best for the other pieces of the Millis puzzle. I'm gonna let Craig, do you want to talk about the other pieces?
Sure.
Because there really are 3 pieces that people have been talking about. So let's just get it out there.
Okay, you know how much I love to talk about debt. I talked about it at town meeting. I'm going to go again. So here we go. There's really 2 types of debt a town can have. You can have what's called exempt debt, and exempt debt raises taxes. Non-exempt debt is paid for out of operating. That's no tax increase. We have to find the money to pay for it. So we've got an ambulance, a street sweeper, DPW garage remodel, front end loader, all these fun things, ambulance, fire engine, the Vector truck, all these big pieces of equipment. They're non-exempt debt. We just pay for those at a normal operating cost. There's only 3 items that we raised taxes so far to pay for. There's the library, the police and fire. I'll take that back, there's 4. The library, the police and fire, and the Clyde Brown School. We also bought a Quint truck, which is a fire truck, but that cost us $55,000 a year. So that's really an inconsequential amount on your taxes. So those are the 4 items that we raised taxes to pay for. Those 4 items, we borrowed for the library, and I believe it's 2010 when it passed. We probably borrowed in 2012. There's 8 more years left on that borrowing. That borrowing, we're paying $250,000 of principal each year, plus any outstanding interest.
So that was at a total amount though.
$7 million.
I got
less-
5.
Less the 2 million that the state gave us.
Right.
So the state gave us 2 million of the $7 million cost, which means that we're paying $250,000 a year to pay it off. Plus any interest on the outstanding principal. The fire station, police station, that has 11 more years left on it, and we're spending about, where is it? About 500,000 a year in principal, and the remainder is interest.
That total, I have it almost 10 million.
About $10 million, that's
And
right.
those were bundled. I
Right.
didn't know that.
And then, the CFB school, that's the big one, there's 19 more years left on that. We're spending, how much we're spending in principal on that, we gotta add 2 numbers now, don't we? That is about $1 million a year on, principal on that, with interest on the outstanding portion.
And that was a total of, I have 29.
Yeah, 29 million.
29
That was our
million.
portion, that was our portion.
So the total for the Clyde Brown, if people don't know this, was 52.7. The town received almost 21 million, which left the 29 million to bond.
Yeah.
Oh, it came in under 3 million under budget.
Yeah, $3 million on budget. So that means every year we have to, well, next year, not every year, but next year, we have to spend about $3 million on exempt payments, which works out to about 8, so your tax bill, typical tax bill's around $10,000. So out of that $10,000 per household, about 820 of that is the borrowing for everything prior to this. The rest of it is just how much it costs to run the town. So when people say their taxes have gone up because of these, they have. They've gone up about $800. If your taxes, like mine, just living here 30 years, went from a couple thousand to nearly 10,000, most of that is just the cost of running the town, providing police, fire, DPW, none with overrides.
So of a $10,000 tax bill.
Yeah.
800 of that,
8 to 825.
8 to 825 goes to the 4, well, you say 4 projects, but the police and fire.
I was counting the Quint truck for 55,000.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay,
So really, that's the majority of our money is the cost of your tax bills, the cost to run the town. Not gonna say these haven't impacted, they have, but remember, we talked about the Clyde Brown School. We said that was gonna cost $800 a year because the town has grown. All of those projects now cost $800 a year for a typical home. So that's interesting to look at. The new school is we're saying is gonna cost about 900, 915.
9 4, yeah.
Yeah, and that is the number today. But that number is gonna come down too as we pay off principal, as we do other things, as the town grows. So really, the tax bill is mostly made up, 90% of your tax bill is the cost of running the town, providing police, fire, DPW, senior services, libraries, everything else. The other 10% is the cost of projects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess what I wanna say is, I understand that this, some people think that some of these projects were not necessary. I can understand how you would think that, but it's not true. These projects were necessary. We had a fire and police that shared, never gonna pass muster. If we had waited on any of these, then today, instead of coming to you for the ad reno to Millis Junior Senior High School, we'd be throwing in a new police station. So the fact that we've got, 7 years behind us, 8 years, is a good thing. Now, the final thing is, a lot of people on the library, people for some reason think that nobody uses the library. We didn't need the library. Interestingly enough, the library, we bonded that for $5 million back in 2013. The total was 8, we got 3 million refunded, so it's $5 million for that library. People do use the library. Just because you don't use the library doesn't mean others don't use the library. There are people in town that don't have access to computers and access to resources that maybe some of you do, but it is being used. And I have a lot of numbers I'm not gonna bore you with, but their numbers are through the roof. I mean, the programs hosting, and 63,000 people visited it in 2023. That's the last year we have records for. 130,000 items checked out in 2023. It's just, if you go there on a Saturday and you see all the kids, it's being used. So finally, my one thing. When you go to vote on Monday, 1 week from today, I understand that 1 week.
Or you vote tomorrow, early.
Oh, yeah, you can vote anytime, but like me, you'll probably wait.
I voted.
But when you go to vote, I can understand voting with your heart. I can, and when you think of all these things that are coming down. But please, while you're voting with your heart, try to vote with, try to think it through, and what this means to the town, means to you, your family, and new people coming. So you can use both when you're there checking off the little box. That's it.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Ellen and Craig. Any other announcements? Nope, no,
No.
okay.
Yes, just a reminder, the town hall closes at noon for business.
Wednesday?
On Wednesday, we are
Yes.
closed Thanksgiving and Friday. However, early voting will still be here, happening on
Friday.
Friday, just the offices will be closed.
Right, and on Saturday,
And the transfer station is remaining open as always. There's no
but
changes
Karen,
there.
early voting
Yes,
Saturday.
Saturday as well, sorry,
Yeah.
Saturday
Next
as well. so,
Saturday,
yes,
right
yes, yeah.
before, so plenty of time to vote. No excuses. Craig.
I voted.
Okay.
I knew I was gonna miss it if I didn't.
That's all.
So moving on with our agenda, the first thing we have here is an update from the trustees of the Millbourne Farm Conservation Land. You want to come on up? You can sit at the table if you'd like.
If I provided.
Sure, sure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sorry, don't need.
I don't need it. but
When
thank
you goes
you.
when you ride.
This is where I ride.
Take it to your horse.
We just ask that you, take a moment to identify yourselves and then keep the microphone about 4 inches from your face.
They can't hear
That's
it.
what they ask
otherwise.
us to do.
Okay. Can you hear me there?
4 inches.
4 inches, so no.
Okay.
It's not us, it's them at home, because
Okay.
we have a huge following.
As you can see.
Thank you for having us. I'm G.A. Hayden. I'm the Regional Vice President for the trustees based in Dover. And if I can just say, my friends in Millis love the Millis Library. So,
Good.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hi, and I'm Mike Francis. I'm the Senior Regional Stewardship Manager in Metro West Region, including Millbourne Farm.
thanks. So we just wanted to take a couple of minutes to update you on where we are because we know that this is such an important project for the community of Millis, just as it is for the community of Sherburne. The property resides in both towns. We have done a ton of work since we acquired the property. We've commissioned a cultural resources report to really trace the history, the post-colonial history of the property. We've done mapping of the entire trail system so that we could figure out our wayfinding. We've driven by a tremendous amount of tree work with the Mass Arborist Association. We have worked on the buildings with new roofs and windows and all sorts of things there. Interpretive signage is in the works. We've met with our neighbors to talk about equestrian access. Our wayfinding plans are in place. We've also worked both with the town of Sherburne and the town of Millis on the entry and egress to the property, where the parking would be situated, and the signage from the road. We've got lots more work to do. We're looking to open in June of 26. So a lot more to report, and we'll be inviting you to that opening as we get closer to it. But we also wanted to thank the Conservation Commission in the town of Millis. They have been terrific partners. We've been out on several walks with them to get a sense of their priorities, to share with them some of our priorities for maintenance of the property and the increased improvements. And we also want to thank the fire chief, who was terrific about coming out and working with us on the entry and the exit so that we have proper egress for fire trucks and other emergency equipment. So what we wanted to do tonight was get your thoughts on two questions that we're looking at that Mike is gonna share with you. We've reviewed all of this with the Conservation Commission, but did want to come to the select board and talk to you a little bit as well.
So the two questions, one relates to our trails and the second, to the water frontage and access, to Millbourne Farm. So our main entrance, that will lead visitors to the trailhead parking will be off of, Bullard Street in Sherburne. But as you know, the town land to the south, around South End Pond, connects to the Millbourne Farm, open space. So there is the existing trail, the blue, solid blue line that drops down to South End Pond. So there's already an existing trail, natural connectivity. And typically the trustees will place a trustee sign, a boundary sign at our boundary where the trail exits or enters the property. In this instance, we'd like to install what we would call a mini kiosk, a smaller version of what we place at our main trailhead. So it'd probably be about a 36-inch by 24-inch sign that includes a trail map and some additional information about Millbourne Farm. So there's really three options. One, we can place that at the boundary. One, it could be close to the canoe landing at South End Pond. Or third, it could be somewhere in between, perhaps visible from the canoe landing, but not right there at the shoreline. Additionally, we could place a second sign that said Millbourne Trustees, Millbourne Farm Trails Ahead. And then have that mini kiosk further up at the boundary. So that was one thought. One question to the select board, if you have any thoughts or questions about such a sign.
Can you show me on this map? I think I know, but can you,
Mhm. Yeah, so the solid blue line here that leads out of Millbourne Farm.
yeah,
Crosses the green
yeah,
boundary here
yeah,
and over to the shoreline.
The shoreline,
Okay.
yep.
People typically watching.
okay.
You want to point out the three spots that we're looking
Oh, sure. Yeah, be more precise. So the three options here, one is real right at the boundary.
Here, come up, up.
Sure. Yep.
I can't see with them, I can't see without them.
Thanks. If I can use maybe a pen, just, yeah, that's good. Okay. So one, the trail
Oh,
crosses the boundary right here,
Yeah.
that solid green line.
Yeah.
Second option might be
Okay.
really around the canoe landing area.
yeah,
And just the third option, somewhere in
Between.
between, but still may be visible from here, because from the canoe landing, you're not really able to see this boundary crossing. Close.
now, is this the path? That's
It
the
is.
path, right? See, that's where I live right there.
Yes, okay.
So, you know.
So I think I like I like the small sign near the canoe landing that says that there's trail signs ahead, and then I would think at the start of the cross with the green and the blue, you
Put
have
another
the
one?
kiosk. Right? Oh, you're nodding, so you like that?
No, I mean, I understand what you're referring to, sure.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
So
okay.
kiosk at the
Yeah,
boundary
yes,
with the sign.
near the canoe
Right.
to say that it's ahead.
Because no, you don't know when you're on that one, that you're up, nobody knows that.
Right.
I
Right.
don't think I'd want them to know that, but apparently you do, so. But yeah,
Okay,
It's your horseback riding here.
yes,
do you guys
I'm
agree with
already
that?
getting nervous.
Yeah, I like the sign by the canoe landing. I think telling them to go up a little further. And if that's a good way finding sign, they can get to the kiosk. The kiosks are very nice.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with them being on our property or a little further up, but just getting them to it is the key point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we get a picture of the kiosk?
We can send you that, sure.
Yeah.
Send you that,
Yeah, I
yeah.
have no
Is
idea.
it like the one that's on Forest Road there?
Well, we call them, we refer to them as kiosks. In this instance, a mini kiosk, it's really just the sign that we would mount on a
Yeah.
2 4x4 post kind of low to the ground. It wouldn't even really be a
As
large
big as the other one?
structure, right?
Okay,
Because it's a mini version of that.
Okay.
okay,
With less information, so it can fit on a smaller panel.
okay.
I think it's good to get a map though, so people know if they're getting in.
And who's gonna pick up all the maps when they all over the.
Oh, no,
garage.
they'd be mounted. It would be a mounted.
Yeah.
With
Right.
QR code probably, right? Is that-
Right, no,
No,
pic-
no
no
picture.
picture.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
We
really
feeling
just
better
a-
now?
a little bit.
Yeah, a printed sign, we print them on our standard like sign stock, so it's rigid, durable, long lasting.
Yeah,
Cool.
and then just click the QR code and get it on your
You
phone.
know how good I am with that.
I know, that's why I'm explaining it slowly.
So the second topic is about, the water frontage. As you know, Millbourne Farm abuts the Charles River, about a mile of, riverfront. And along with South End Pond. Millbourne is one of, sorry, is there a little ring? Millbourne is
Yeah.
one of 7 trustees' properties that the Charles River links. And that's something really special for the trustees and for all of the visitors on the river. So we would like to promote really the Charles River as a water trail, a blue trail that links all of these open spaces. And in doing so, we need to get them to Millbourne Farm. So we'd like to know your thoughts about having the canoe landing at South End Pond really fit within that blue trail concept.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I like the concept, but I don't know what that means, you know?
Yeah, to me, in my mind, it's really maybe pointing out what's obvious to us. Sure that you can get to these places by the river, but to other people, they may not be connecting the dots in such a way. So really seeing that river as a body of water that really links all of these open spaces together.
But how are you?
Yeah, how would you
what are looking
communicate,
at?
how would you communicate that to South End Pond?
Right, sure, through the canoe, a sign at the canoe landing of each of our properties and on our website.
Okay.
But we're not, I guess, let me try to distinguish this. Sorry, let me try to distinguish this. This is where we want your thoughts, so this is not fully baked. But what we're thinking is that we would have a map on our website that would show a blue trail where you can, for example, put in at Bridge Street in Dover and continue down, and there are areas where you can pull off. Not every one of those spots is suitable for parking, bringing in a trailer, bringing in a boat, all that sort of thing. That's just, you know, they just don't exist. But there are opportunities to pull off and explore a property. We have a pull off at Rocky Narrows, and you can just tie up your canoe and you can walk around and untie your canoe and go. But you can't really get in there to. We're imagining something similar with the area that is owned by the town of Millis, where people from Millis, some people go down there and they launch a canoe and they go, or a kayak and they go about. But what we're saying is we'd like to be able to include that as a place where you could pull out, you know, pull off, walk around Millbourne, get back in your boat and go. But what we don't want to do is promote it as a place where you can go with a truck and a trailer and unload and just, because we don't feel as though it's suitable for that. It's not our property. It's not our right to promote it. And we're not investing in doing anything to make some sort of a big boat launch or something. So we wanted to get your thoughts on that, to see if you thought it was all right for us to include that as a spot where someone could, you know, pull off, go walk around Millbourne, get their boat again and keep going.
But, so you just said, I'm confused. You just said a second ago that the launch in Millis at the pond is not suitable.
Right, to bring a truck in.
Right.
With,
To promote.
for a
have
boat,
But now,
but it could be a
This is for-
pull off.
For example, for someone who is already in a kayak or
oh,
Right.
Yeah,
where they're,
Pull over,
they can just pull it, leave it there, walk around Millbourne, come back, continue their journey.
head down to Rocky Narrows if you're an avid paddler.
my only question would be, would people confuse that and come with their trailers because they're dumb? Because people do, by the way, and it's hard. Well, first of all, you got the gate, you gotta walk a quarter of a mile
Right.
with your canoe.
Right.
You go down the steep, whatever. I hope our insurance is up. It's just not great, but people do it. You can you can pull up with a pickup truck, open the gate, hump your boat down, spend the day and hump it back. And I'm just wondering if you put it in as whatever you put in, would people just say, hey? And then it becomes that. You can't
Yeah.
undo it.
Yeah, I think conceptually I like the idea, but not advertising it as a canoe launch, but a canoe stopping. point.
Right.
Right.
So if you can
Exactly.
build it that way, I like that
Yeah.
concept a lot.
Sorry, I was just, if I may, but wouldn't you have on the website, when you say like, here are your launches? And then so you could go from here to Z and jump off?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't it be pretty clear to?
I think so. The state has a list of boat launches.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Charles River Watershed Association lists the launches on Route 109, Route 27. Those are the best, most frequented
Yeah.
places. Army Corps of Engineers has a place on Forest Road rather. So sure, people may discover the landing as a place to launch, but it's not ideal and it doesn't provide you easy access to get in and out.
I mean, couldn't it just say no parking and pedestrian access only or something?
Well, I think if we're,
Parking. so
yeah,
you
I think if
can't
we're
say-
advertising
Like
it
they
on,
are, so you're saying.
yeah, on the trustees' website, if it's being advertised as part of this blue
Right.
trail, but not the start of the blue
Not a
trail.
Right.
It's a stop on the blue.
So
trail.
you're not gonna try to put any, I probably asked you this when we met, but you're not gonna try to put any boat launch anywhere on South End Pond? 'Cause you
Absolutely
could-
not.
Okay,
Right.
cause you,
Right.
it'd be a lot, but
Yeah.
you could.
It would be.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of work.
Yeah.
Be a lot of money, and it's very wet, you know, and there are some really endangered
Yeah,
species
you're right.
there,
You're
and so we don't wanna disturb any of that.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I think
Yeah.
we're in agreement then
Yep.
that we'd like it as a pull-off,
Yep.
like as part of your blue
Yep.
trail, but not a launch. Yeah,
All right.
That's
that sounds great.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
It was great seeing you guys again.
Great to see you.
Very nice.
It was nice to get an update and to hear when you guys
You're
expect.
doing,
to be
first of all, I can tell you firsthand, you're doing a lot. Or you did nothing for so long. I was laughing at your date. I'm like, yeah, right. But all of a sudden, I'm there every day. And I don't know when they're doing it. They put the new roof on.
Yep.
In like a minute. They're out in the middle, probably with the parking lot. Maybe
There's
I see a
like
big-
parking as you come in the
Yeah.
entrance, there's a break in the stone wall, and then to the right.
And all the tree clearings in between the fields. You know, you're gonna see my house.
That's not a good thing. She doesn't want.
No, but seriously, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work, and it's just gonna keep on going, so we're very excited about it, we really appreciate the partnership. And I say this whenever we go to a public meeting, thank you, because we know how much time it takes, and that these are voluntary positions that you have, and we're very, very appreciative of the partnership with Millis, so.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Very nice.
Wonderful. Okay, next we have some appointments. We have appointment of on-call firefighters.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In the board's packet is a letter from the fire chief. Just informing myself and the board that the fire department is currently short of 6 on-call firefighters in the department due to promotions to full-time positions and due to retirements. The fire department recently held interviews and conducted a physical agility test for 5 applicants. And of those, they've chosen 2 to request that they be brought on board as on-call firefighters. Both of those are Millis residents. They are Hadley McPhee and Matthew Barrio. They are both 2020 graduates of Millis High School and Tri-County, and both have already obtained their national EMT-B and will be enrolled in the February 2026 Mass Fire Academy Call Volunteer Recruit Training. And he is recommending the appointment of both of those individuals as all on-call firefighter recruits pending a physical examination. And with that, Madam Chair, I am requesting that the board vote to ratify my appointment of Hadley McPhee and Matthew Barrio as on-call firefighter recruits pending the successful physical inquiry results.
I move that the board ratify the town administrator's appointment of Hadley McPhee and Matthew Barrio as on-call firefighter recruits pending successful physical and inquiry results.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Great, thank you very much.
Next, we have an appointment for, school building committee.
Yes, Madam Chair, due to, the retirement of Terry Wigan, who was on the committee, as the school, business manager, they do have a new, manager there, Shailene Volpe. And the school building committee is requesting that the select board appoint her as the newest member to the school building committee.
I move the board appoint Shailene Volpe to the school building committee through the completion of the project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And last, we have an unforeseen, addition for an election worker.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I was informed by the town clerk earlier today that they are in need of an additional election worker for the upcoming election, and because the board's next meeting isn't until December 15th. She is requesting that the board this evening appoint Stephen Bianchi as an election worker to assist in the upcoming election.
I move the board appoint Stephen Bianchi as an election worker.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is postponed. And then, that brings us to our municipal moment, Ellen, where we will discuss the status of pending construction projects in Millis.
So.
Mr. Merrick, can you
yeah.
join us?
Yes. So, not that I'm on Facebook very much, but people ask about what's going on with this project, what's going on with that project. So we decided to answer all your questions in one fell swoop. We're gonna start at, most of the projects are on 109. We're gonna start on the Medfield line, and we're going to move all the way, one by one, to the Millis line, and we don't have much time, Erin says. So, we're gonna start immediately. So let's start with the Old Charles Restaurant. What do you got?
It's under construction. They've installed the foundation and they are about to begin construction of the new restaurant building itself on top of the foundation. So this is basically rebuilding the Charles Restaurant. Great.
So, do they, when do they want to open?
I'm sure they'd love to be open right now.
I know, but,
I would hope they would be open next summer.
so is it gonna be the same, do they know, if I could have asked them this, but do they know if it's gonna be the same fare, food wise? No idea. And it's almost the same footprint, right?
Very similar,
Because of, they don't have a lot of room.
correct.
But they're moving. Okay, so that's number one. Now we're gonna move and we're gonna go both sides of the road. The three buildings
Gateway.
past Tresca.
Yes. So the
Yes,
buildings are constructed and occupied, 3 apartment buildings, 48 units total. 2 are constructed and occupied. The last one is under construction. Looks like the exterior is just about done. I would imagine the interior will be finishing up in the next few months. And
What's
then
that?
project will be done.
what's that project called?
Gateway.
That's what I thought, Gateway. Now we're gonna move up. Do we get to talk about, is the next one Tresca?
Sure.
Okay, explain where that exactly is, because I don't think anybody knows.
It's a piece of land behind Cottage Ave, North Street, that whole neighborhood between there and the old railroad track.
So is it kind of by the the transfer station?
It's basically between Main Street and the transfer station.
Okay, so nobody knows about this, but it's been in the works for a few years, but they were legal.
Yeah, there were some questions about some easements on the property, so those have been resolved and we're moving forward with a subdivision application for single family house lots.
Okay, do you know how many?
44.
Okay, and this is the project, do we wanna go into any more? What we're gonna get out of it or no?
Well, part of the project will be that the applicant will reconstruct the sewer pump station at Dover Road. To
That's
handle
big,
the
people.
increased capacity, and there is a proposal for a soccer field at the back portion of the property.
That's exciting.
44 single-family houses
Yeah.
are gonna fit there?
Yeah, it goes
Big
way,
piece of land.
it's
Really?
big,
Okay.
it's really big. you just don't
You don't
know
even
it.
notice it
Yeah,
as you're
yeah,
driving around.
clearly.
There's a big piece of land there.
Um, okay, now we're gonna go up a little further and let's talk about the old, but you don't know this, we do, the old Herman Shoe site. Most people know where that is. That's actually right across the street from the entrance to the transfer station.
Mhm.
It's been fenced up forever. It abuts the old shingle factory there. So we heard from them, right?
Yes, I think, Mr. Weiss has also been in touch. It's my understanding that they are, within weeks away, hopefully, of going for their building permit.
Yes. And can we talk about any money that we're gonna, this is exciting.
Yes, we have agreements with them that, upon,
The pulling of a
upon the
permit.
pulling of the permit, there will be payments to the town related to some contamination that's on the site to help with, the town's PFAS operation. So it will help with the, offset some of the costs to the ratepayers for the PFAS plants.
Okay, that's exciting. Okay, now we're gonna go up a little further. We're gonna go through the center of town. There's nothing there, right? All the way past the bowling alley, right?
Yes,
And then right there on the left, on the corner of Hammond Lane, someday is gonna be what?
2 apartment buildings.
But there might be somebody else involved.
Yeah, one applicant obtained the permits for the project and they're looking to potentially sell the project. to
Okay.
A different entity to construct those buildings.
And so how many units are those gonna be?
That's 48
And those are apartments also.
apartments.
So far, everything's apartments, even the Herman Shoe,
But
right?
not Tresca.
Yeah.
But not Trusca, those are single family homes, but the Herman Shoe is apartments.
Yes.
I think it's interesting that nobody's building, I don't know, condos,
Yeah, but we don't have.
but it's
a lot
all
of
40B, right?
We don't have a lot of apartments,
No.
so I think it makes some sense.
It's advantage to the town for
Yeah.
40Bs to be apartments because the town gets credit for 100% of the units.
Yes.
As affordable units.
Who's not using some?
Who's not using the mic? Must be you.
Must be you, we all know. Yeah.
Listen,
Right.
it's 4 inches, I hear you.
You missed Storm Along. What's the story? with
Oh,
Storm
Storm
Along?
Along. That's you.
So they've been
Good one,
building,
Karen.
Sorry.
they've been building their production facility in the old Inn and Hope space. And my understanding is they're close to done with that and that they're gonna be making product there and they're gonna next open a little retail shop so you can go in and buy Storm Lawn products.
Do you think that's gonna be like in the spring or summer?
I think the retail store will open sometime this year or in the next few months.
Okay,
They've just been trying to get their production, they're making cider
right.
Yeah.
in the space, so they've been trying to get that going.
So they talked about doing something like almost like a tap room for cider. Are they
Yes.
still looking at that or is that off the table?
No, it's still in the mix.
Okay.
It's gonna take a little longer to get that done, but they wanna basically have a tap room,
Yeah.
4 inches.
4 inches.
You're 6 now.
Kind of like if you were to go to a local brewery, something that kind of an environment. Where you'd be able to get food.
So they are, that's still in the works
tap room,
potentially.
That's still in the works.
Okay,
Just curious.
cool.
People always ask about that.
Okay, now we're gonna go further. We're past Hammond Lane. We're on the left-hand side. The Zoppo, would that be the Zoppo? Or we at Tom Road?
It's awful.
Zoppo. Where are we with that? Oh, you don't know, we do. We know where we are with that, Karen,
Yeah.
right?
Well, are you talking about, there's one before Zappos though, right? The one
Who?
right on the corner?
We just talked.
That's the one we just talked
Oh,
about.
sorry.
That's
I
okay.
don't know where I was, not
That's
here
okay.
apparently. Yeah.
They're the ones that
Zappos-
came
So
to
we
us.
reached out, yes, we reached out to them, the board approved the sewer capacity
Yep.
potentially.
And we were
then
ready
we
to-
heard
We were ready to
crickets.
take it away because we
That's
haven't heard from
correct.
them.
So I reached out to them and he said that there were a few things buttoning up and then he was going to get back to us right after Thanksgiving with a big update. That's what I was told. So I
Okay.
said, I will reach out to you after Thanksgiving if I can.
Okay, so stay tuned for the
Stay
big
tuned.
update. Now we go a little further. We got the car place.
Again, he's waiting on some licensing, so that's ready to go. He just had needs to
Right.
move the cars over. So he's moving the cars from Medway to here.
Right,
Car place.
Used
right,
cars,
the
Right.
used car,
We
right?
approved that a while back.
That was a
right in
long
front
time
of-
ago.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Right,
Yeah.
We've been approving it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Well, he mentioned that he wanted to wait till 109 got paved.
yeah,
So, you know, here we
What
are.
excuses now?
yeah.
Okay, now we go to Tom Roach,
Yeah, Cobble Knoll,
Cobble Knoll,
which is a condo project, 28
Ooh.
units.
okay,
We're doing some redesign work to the drainage system because, the applicant purchased a piece of, land that the town owned in the back, and we're moving around some of our drainage components to utilize that land. It's not gonna increase the number of units, it's just gonna change our drainage design, so we'll be
Mhm.
working on that with the zoning board. But it's under construction, and that'll be moving forward more
okay.
aggressively in the next 6 months.
We missed, two things. We missed, Pleasant Street, Corrigan's, the one on the corner, it used to be the old Red Barn. What's going on with that?
That one is almost done, as I understand it, within the next 2 or 3 months, I think, they're gonna be finishing that out, that's apartments, 24 units, I think.
I got 21 residential unit, and no, that's the wrong one, sorry. I've got 24 units, including 6 affordable apartments, all apartments, and then the commercial unit downstairs that hopefully we know about.
Yeah. It's
And
the
then,
Red Barn, you need Butter Bigs, right?
yeah, but it
You're
was
dating
Red Barn.
yourself. Yeah,
I
I don't know what the
know.
heck the Red Barn is, but it's.
Red Barn. Well, when I was
Yeah,
this big.
Right, yeah.
Christmas
Sure,
tree
you
shop,
know.
you talk about the Christmas tree shop?
Get it all out, everybody.
All right,
Go
go
ahead.
on.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I remember the Red Barn.
Thank you.
Red Barn.
We wanna talk, I have a note here also, for the weed place, right?
617 Therapeutics, right?
Yeah. But I had a note here, but now I'm not seeing it. Bob.
Yeah,
Bob,
Jim has something, I think.
what do you got? Get up here. It's solar though, right?
So yes, there's a solar farm that's being constructed as we speak today. They're the drive under type solar farms. You know, panels, they're gonna be like
Oh,
12, 14 feet off the ground. When they came to the planning board, we muscled them into putting a fence up and the back of section F. Which is, it's been installed and they came back with permitting. I know they have to go back to the Conservation Commission because some of the clearing, they might have to clear some more trees going on the other side of the property, not near the cemetery, but on the opposite side, but it's under construction as we speak. And I believe that there's a chunk of the inside of the building they're still trying to rent
right,
or sell us.
right. Okay, awesome.
Let's ask one more question
Go ahead.
while Dan's here. Stony Brook. That was a big one where we all met. And that was a big deal. Remember, there was like 5 more.
Just ask about that.
So
Oh, did you? I'm sorry.
the owner is exploring options, to pursue a development of some kind under the MBTA new zoning overlay district that was placed over that property.
Yes,
They are actively involved in exploring options.
yes. And they may be exploring till the cows come home.
Quite possible.
Quite possible, but good answer.
And then-
Anything else?
I was gonna say Wagaboo,
Jim? Nope.
Wagaboo, it looks like they're actively working on their
Yes.
project, and I know
Yes.
their alcohol license, I believe, it's at the ABCC, it's almost approved.
Yep,
So they are moving
they
forward.
are, they're working. I actually see them.
Yeah.
We have anything else?
How many units at Herman Shoe?
A
I
lot.
thought that was 80, I'm not involved in that, but 80.
How many? 98.
You just ask it out to the crowd, somebody use that.
Somebody knows.
Great.
No idea.
How many bedrooms?
At least 98.
Yes.
I just can't wait till they pull a permit, that's all. You think that's it, Dan?
I think so.
Hold on, what about, I got on this note, Emerson Place.
Yeah, that's a subdivision off of Ridge Street,
Yep,
Rolling Meadow. It's 43 lots.
well, there are currently 21 residential units.
Is about half, 55% either occupied or under construction.
Okay,
So another 20 odd lots, single family homes to be
Okay.
built in the next year or two.
Okay, that's exciting. And then, okay. I think that's it for you. Anybody have any questions about anything that's going on here?
A lot of
Dirt wise?
information.
We have the Lansing Memorial on here, so I'm just gonna say that the exterior has been completed. And, well, we're gonna talk about that later, so I don't need to do it now.
Yep.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you,
That
Dan.
was so enlightening.
It was. Thank you.
The town should feel rich,
We've got a lot going
a
on.
lot going on, a lot
Excellent.
going on.
All right, so the next thing on our agenda is to talk about the Complete Streets program. We have, Bob and Jim.
Nate. Bob, Jim and Nate.
No, Nate's got questions.
Oh,
Bob and Jim. I can tell he's wearing the wrong town's jackets, that means he's not part of that.
Ain't enough work early.
Having a town.
So I guess I'll start, if anybody wants to see, you have copies?
No,
We don't, but I've seen this before, but
I'd love to see it.
no, you don't need to tell.
No,
Here, I'll share mine with you.
okay. Thank you.
Here, here.
I think it's
So
in our
this is-
thing.
What we're gonna talk about tonight is Exchange Street.
Oh, we do.
Thank you. Yeah.
There's two phases of this project we'd like to speak about and actually hopefully
Thank
you'll approve and allow us to sign the contract. The first part is the easiest part. As you remember, when we first came and we were telling you about the grants that we received. From Senator Rebecca Roach's office, we got an earmark of $100,000. And it has specific, it has to be done sidewalks. We have to spend it on sidewalks. Because that's how, when we submitted it, when the town administrator and I submitted it, that's what we asked the funding for. And we thought, we're gonna use that on Village Street or something like that, but I can tell you that the cost for placing sidewalks on Village Street is gonna far surpass anything that we'll probably ever be able to do. So we came to an area, I think if someone ever looks at, if you walk down in front of the stores, the restaurants that, you know, that we don't have that many of them, you know, on Exchange Street, Lucas, all that whole area right there. Those sidewalks were probably put back in the forties. You want to talk about the Red Barn, they're probably put in probably before that.
When the
I got the
quality,
red
when
one.
the quality shop, the quality supermarket was there. Anybody? Anybody?
And I guarantee you, they probably haven't been touched in the, you know, whatever, how many years they've been there. And they're, so when I first looked at them, I went out with David Romachi, the superintendent, and a contractor from J.H. Lynch, who we are still under contract with. He took a look at them and we measured them all up and we looked at from replacing those sidewalks from the train tracks all the way up to, I think it's number 7, is it? To Niagara Hall, number 12, Exchange Street. And that's where we'll stop there because it's, complete streets will take over after that. The cost of that is $118,845.65.
That's real convenient.
Yes.
Rebecca's coming to the menorah lighting.
you're gonna get
Want me to
18
get
out.
So you can get 18
Fire?
per hour. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. So, we'll talk about, you know, getting that approved afterwards, so those funds are there, whatever we would. The 18 or whatever police details and all that would have to take out of the funds that were appropriated during, you know, town meeting. $500,000, and we still have money left over from last year, so it'll all work out. That it's not gonna hit that budget very well. The next one, if you,
When do you think you'd be doing that?
in the spring.
This spring?
Well, depends if it gets approved. So the next is, if you remember back, Mr. Weiss and myself, we applied for a complete streets grant back, let's say it was like 3 years ago, Bob?
Yeah.
It was, it was three years ago, and we received $433,000 from that grant. We looked at, and then we prioritized what the work needed to be done through the intersections throughout the town, and this intersection in Exchange Street, it didn't rank number one, but it was up there. Maybe in the 1, 2, 3. It went to Bob's committee. They also reviewed the committee. What's that?
And we had a core group also.
Economic
Economic
development.
development, plus, we made most of the decisions through the, core group, which consisted of the DPW director, member of the select board, I think, Aaron was a member of that, maybe not.
I don't know.
I think I was on that one. I
Were you?
Maybe it's great, yeah.
I remember looking
Police
at
chief-
22 plans and some.
Police chief and fire chief.
Yeah.
And if you can see in front of this is a big deal. I mean, this is gonna be a major change to the way people drive in Millis with this intersection.
This one,
This intersection we're pointing out.
Yeah, I just feel to share
Okay,
it.
there's a little
That
plus
big-
button down at the bottom
Yeah, I was
and
gonna
that
say-
magnifying glass. If you click on that plus, it should.
I'm not looking, sorry.
To
Bottom
the
right,
right.
bottom right.
Right.
I will
Up.
magnify go up, I will magnify and go up. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Hit it again if you
Hit
want.
it one more
hit it again.
Uh-oh.
There you go.
That's good.
All right, stop there.
Oh, yeah.
Too much of a good thing. You got pushed, you got greedy. There, oh, that's really good.
That's
Stop.
good.
He's like, don't move it anymore.
So if we look at the parking spots after the restaurant, the takeout restaurant in front of the house, number 12, Exchange Street, we will lose those parking spaces. Those angled parking spaces, they'll be eliminated for this project. And then you move a little further down, Niagara Hall is right there. There was, at the first design, this green patch went straight across. And there was just this little driveway that came out of in between the library and Niagara Hall. There is a driveway there, and there is an access if somebody needs to be taken out by ambulance or whatever, or service. Vehicles need to use that parking lot. So we did redesign that, and as you can see, it will remain cement all the way from that green spot all the way straight down to that little green patch. And as you see, it's coming further and further out, and it's crunching that intersection to almost make it a square enter and exit area. Our engineer, we did hire Beta Engineering, and they actually designed this. Bob and I didn't do this, it was done through Beta. So you can see what you're talking about. We have plenty of them.
You mentioned it was done according to the, Complete Streets, recommendations. Mostly because Complete Streets will be funding most of the project.
Jim, what is that big green rectangle?
So those little.
The big dark green one.
The
Yeah.
big dark green rectangle, right there at the bottom.
That's all grass.
That's all grass.
No,
No.
the,
No, going across the street.
Go up
the
top.
dark one that goes across the street.
Above the crosswalk.
Right above the cross. Yeah.
That, yeah,
That's a crosswalk.
that's the crosswalk?
That's a crosswalk that and actually, no, wait a minute, let me go back. So if you look at these green little dots, do you see the
Yeah.
dots?
See the, yeah.
That's leading up, they're gonna be not a totally
Oh, Karen.
raised up area. It's to show people that you have to make a decision of which way you're turning, right or left.
There.
Holy moly.
And again, this was done by design phases of
You see
much
what they're doing?
difficult intersections.
So it's gonna be a right turn lane and a left turn lane.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens in the middle if you're undecided?
You can't be undecided, you're
Yeah.
turning left or right.
Pretty much the same as what's happening now. Right now, if you're gonna make a right turn, you head to the right. It's a very wide intersection there. If you had to, basically you have arrows here now where you didn't before. And it's also cut at a better angle so that the cars that are turning right can certainly see better, and so can the cars that are turning left.
I mean, frankly, I think if you're turning left there, you've got other problems. But
So is the island gonna be gone?
No,
Longer.
it's gonna be longer if you look right beside it.
Yeah.
If you look right beside it, the island's there, as Nick just stated, that it's actually longer.
I see that.
It's gonna start further out, and it's gonna define how you make that turn in both ways, and it's gonna bring you further out to the road so you can see, you can actually see the vehicles coming both ways, which you
Oh.
really can't now. You
No, you can't.
you just pull right out and you're in the middle of the
Now,
lane.
to get into
Is it
the,
more for vehicles or more for pedestrians?
Well, that's also, it has cut down the crosswalk itself. The main purpose of the greenery at the, near the library walkway there. It's crunched that crosswalk. I mean, right now, you could be standing there and actually the drivers can't even see you.
No, they can't.
Right.
But I got a question. You said you said that the green rectangle was the crosswalk.
I'm sorry, it's letting you know that you're at the
All right,
crosswalk.
this is the crosswalk,
Correct, yeah.
Correct.
the black line.
Yeah.
Is it gonna actually be painted green? No.
Yes,
Really?
yeah,
And it's integrated crosswalk.
yep. There's gonna be a box that.
After this happens, Scott, you and I are gonna get some lawn chairs and some popcorn.
There you go.
And we're just gonna sit out there for like the first week.
there will be a lawn to sit on.
There will be one. Who's gonna cut it? We'll discuss that later.
Okay.
The idea behind the design is to make it safer for pedestrians
Right.
to cross the shorter,
Yeah.
time in the street. And, it's easier for everyone to see the pedestrians.
Yeah, and that was one of the main goals. I remember looking at the various designs for this and getting that island in the middle that's a little bit longer that you're actually able to get on or get out of the way on, and you don't have to run when the cars decide to make that. Well, you probably should still run, but it's still got a shorter distance to cover.
So the downside, a couple of this is the two trees that are in front of number 12. They're gonna have to go,
Oh, the big ones.
those two big ones.
Yeah.
Because they're ripping up the sidewalk, and to replace those sidewalks, the contractor won't be able to,
Are those our trees?
there is.
Yeah, not for
Okay.
nothing, they don't really
Yeah.
belong. I mean,
Okay.
But Mr. Weiss and his other energy committee aspects, we will have to put we'll have to replace them somewhere. And we could actually replace them somewhere in these greeneries right here. With lower type bushes or trees that his committee would pick out.
Okay.
Something flowering,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
cherry.
And, what's not depicted in this, talking to so the police chief, his concern was, he'd like to see the pedestrian.
Mhm.
If we can ever get them all to work, the crosswalk lights,
Yeah.
then we would add that, and that would come out of not in this budget, but our budget. And one of the fire chief, Rick Barrett, with his concern, and we'll have to wait till construction, he just wanted to make sure there's a radius for his trucks to get in and out of, in case there's a car in the area that's broken down, so. But we will work with the, design team to make sure that his questions are answered.
now is this island gonna be green? I mean,
No, that's gonna be a cement.
Concrete.
Granite.
that's what I thought, yeah. Cause people are gonna drive over it, you should have that. What?
The street will be green.
It's decorated now. but,
Yeah.
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 That'll probably continue. I would hope that would continue.
Yeah,
It'll reduce the people going on the left side of the island when they turn on to
Yeah.
Exchange Street, because if you sit out there, numerous people go to the left of the island, or
Right.
hit the sign.
We seem to have less accidents at that intersection though than we do at the light for some strange reason.
The light right here?
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, no, the.
this one's
the main
bad
one,
too.
Yeah, but
Maybe we should set that now.
okay,
So, the cost of that and is not much more than the rest of it. And if you look at the price list that I gave you, I mean, some of these things we take out of it. It's just a height estimate, and that's $125,482.04.
now what is, okay, a minute ago you said that the money from
Yeah.
Roush, that's just the sidewalk?
That's the sidewalks from the train station to
Okay,
12
So that's
Exchange.
118,
Correct,
and then all this road work, island, green, blah, blah, blah,
Yep.
is only another,
125. Yep.
seems like a bargain.
Yeah,
So the reason why we're here
and
tonight,
that 125 is complete streets
Fund
fund.
Streets funds, that Bob still had.
Keeping the theme from earlier tonight, that means there's no increase in taxes for
There you
it.
go.
And this won't affect the chapter 90 funding that we have, or any paving of roads, or anything that was presented at town meeting last week.
These are all extra grant funds.
Yep.
And we have to use it, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Or we lose it.
very good.
Yes,
By when?
June 30th. So
Right.
the reason why I asked that we approve these, Jay, we are under contract with J.H. Lynch today. And that contract ends on December 31st of this year. So I believe that the way the motion is written would, allow us for them to carry, for us to sign the contract, well, the town administrator to sign the contract, and they would carry that expenses through. next
Right,
year.
this is not new money. This is basically an extension of the time period to get this work done, and it locks in the current prices up through June 30th.
Okay, before we make any motions, did anybody have any questions? Concerns? Yes, there is a question. There's two questions. Okay.
Jim Duffy, 346. How many parking spots are we losing?
You know, I think we're losing four.
Yes.
Four.
Parking is somewhat tight as it is. I don't,
Yes.
don't think
Parking
we
is
should be losing any
horrible there.
parking spaces. We should be adding parking spaces, right? So, but
I hear you.
They're not currently striped right now either.
Right.
That's a tough area, and during the, committee meeting, last Thursday, it was brought to our attention. If we could shrink the sidewalks down so there could be the more space for the cars. And Bob got a response back from our engineers that they have to be the 5.5 feet. But we asked. It was
We need
asked.
to talk at some point about those spots anyway.
Yep.
That needs to be redone. That's just,
Oh, we have another design for that was
Yeah,
done
that's a
like
hot
15
mess.
years ago.
Yeah.
That has been
Pull that out of the
a
file.
hot topic for as long as
Ever.
I've worked here,
yeah,
Ever,
ever.
ever and ever.
okay, and then, yes, Scott.
You know, using 411 Union, I think this is long overdue. That intersection is not only with driving, but pedestrian wise, but those sidewalks on Exchange Street have been a long time problem. They were a trip hazard. I think when they took the trees out, a lot of them, the trees being there, popped them up. I just think it's, you know, it's a long overdue to do those sidewalks, down there, but, you know, something needs to be done, and I think this would be a good thing. As far as the parking idea, that parking down is, that'd be dangerous anyway. You're coming down Exchange Street, the cars are sticking out, someone's got a truck.
Yeah,
This has been, it was a couple of years back, I think they mentioned about doing it, so I think now's the time to do it. Thank you.
okay, thank you. Anybody else?
All right.
No?
I
Okay.
move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign an amendment to the contract under the MAPC for roadway management with J.H. Lynch and Son, Inc. out of Millbury, Mass. for an additional $300,000 for the Complete Streets project.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great.
Both of you.
Bob, you can take this. Was Jim?
Just supporting Cat. It was.
Good job, Dave.
Okay, yes,
I
next
thought
we
you were gonna
have,
ask other questions, Nate.
the request to hay town-owned properties.
Okay, so I usually don't get excited about things.
Are you excited about haying?
Yes, about this project
Okay.
here.
This is like two for tonight.
This is big time. We've been waiting for this. Karen and I have been working on this and poor Mike has to listen to us. Complain about this constantly, about
Constant.
fields not getting, and residents thinking that their yards are, you know, in back of their property is supposed to be hayed in a proper time.
Mhm.
And to, you know, get somebody to do this, it's been a very difficult exercise for us. So I believe this is John McCarthy.
Well,
And he reached out actually to Karen several months ago and was interested in the Braun property, paying the Braun property. And you know how you all know how I feel about that property as a resident of, near the Braun property. It's a complete eyesore on the town of Millis. So when he came, it was like, okay, you can use one of the DPW, tractors if you want. So once we started talking to John, we felt that there were more other issues in town that need to be mowed. One of them being the landfill, and that's off of Island Road. That landfill is inspected, we inspected the quarterly. And then we have, the state comes in and they inspect that at least once a year, and then we have we have to hire an outside engineering firm to inspect it. And every single time it's been inspected, the grass isn't cut. The DPW does not have the equipment to cut such a peak of it's like a hill. And in the past several years, because of the person that, I think you're looking at a contract that was signed somewhere for someone, it was never done. So the DPW would have to go, and where we don't have funds appropriated for this, we would have to hire outside landscapers. Nate being one of them, who did it this year, and Brutus is another one and it's just like the last minute. Hey, guys, the guy, they're coming tomorrow, and drop everything and can't go on like that much longer. So speaking with John decided, he feels that is a viable area that he could use that if he hated for, he can tell you all this at the end of what he can use it for. And then we also, under your jurisdiction is the Cassidy Field.
Right.
Not up to your jurisdiction covers the Cassidy Field, and it also covers the swale where there's a replication for when they built wells 5 and 6. So there's a water reclamation area that's in there. The Conservation Commission I don't know who, I think they own back from your house back, or?
Yeah, on the back part.
And he's also said that he would take care of that. He would also look at, entertain meeting with the, Oak Grove Commission. Because their land hasn't been cut in months, years also. So I'll let John explain what he would do, and then we'll talk about the contract when he's done.
Sure, so, like Jim said, I've noticed a couple of times over the recent years when I've driven down, Village Street, I saw the brown property looked like an abandoned farm. So I just started, looking up, see what I could find out about it, and I realized that it was, indeed an abandoned farm that the town bought. So I, pulled names out of a hat and came up with Kearns and gave her a call. And just said I was, I'm a hay farmer and I was interested in seeing if that property might possibly be available. So just thinking it was probably a possibility that she would talk to Jim about it. And a couple of weeks later, probably Jim gave me a call back and said, no, it's definitely something that I would be interested in having something productive happen with the property. And that there were also some other properties in town that might be suitable for hay. And he mentioned that there were 2 fields that are currently hayed, and I think maybe the person who has the contract just doesn't even, maybe it's time to get to doing all of it. Which I understand, and kind of tied in with that was the landfill site. One question that I asked Jim that he kind of mentioned on when he was speaking, and again, this is not in any way critical. I was wondering if there's a possibility of haying that for mulch quality hay. It's obviously not something we want to go into any food chain. And that's not, that was just a curiosity question. It's not anything, we don't need an answer on that. So that was just kind of one of the things that when Jim had mentioned that I was asked about haying that. But I certainly, I'm quite happy to just brush hog that land, and that's probably what I would do at the start anyway, just to make sure that it's kept clean and mowed a couple of times a year as expected. Looks like some of the other land has been partially hayed, so I probably plan to use that for hay for the coming season. And some of the adjoining land that hasn't been hayed, I'd look to at least brush hog it first, and probably then hopefully get it back into hay production later in the year or for future seasons, so.
So For the example contract we have in our packets, would you be looking to do this like twice a year?
That would be my expectation.
Okay,
Because obviously it's a farmer is a gambler who never gets to cut shop or deal. So we don't know what happens with the weather, but the
all right.
general
Yeah.
aim would be 2 cuttings a year for hay ground. Something if it turns out that there's a very, very wet spring or something, you may end up doing your first cut unreasonably late, and maybe you don't get the grass hasn't grown in time to do the second cut.
Okay,
But typically I would expect to do 2. Obviously, for something like the landfill, you're not putting as much material on, as much heavy machinery on there. So the weather is, you probably don't want to go in there if it's very soft ground. But that certainly should not be any trouble to cut twice a year, and maybe it goes into late spring for the first cutting. I think that's acceptable to do something like probably be in June.
mhm,
Ideally, I prefer probably that would be the first cutting there would be earlier than June. But again, that's just worst case, probably would target May and maybe September as 2 cuttings there.
and that would work out for the inspections?
Mhm.
Okay,
Definitely.
mhm, okay,
And again, it may even be possible to do, depending on the year and everything else, it may be possible that it needs to be cut in Fairton. That should be doable as well. Again, like I said, it does depend on weather. If there's a very wet spring or something, it may just be too
mhm,
wet to, like, because we don't want to heavily track the ground. If the ground is very soft, spring.
So I was just gonna add, talking to town council, this is really all we need is a letter. This is considered a license.
Okay.
Signing the letter, so we would have to work together to come up with, exactly what the properties were and maybe dates and go back and forth. So
yeah,
Alright,
okay.
That's really all we would need. And then I just have a quick question. So what is mulch quality hay? Like what do you have to do that?
It's the lowest quality hay imaginable.
Okay.
When you see them, it used to be bales of hay, but now traditionally it's kind of these long kind of tube style things. So it's just hay that's not feed quality or very, very low. feed
okay.
quality.
Just curious.
But it is, it is suitable to use to prevent infiltration into protected ground. Protect wetland from construction.
So the only thing that, when I was talking to John earlier about this, and I think we'll have to check with town council on this. When you usually issue a permit, it's usually renewed year by year. John would need something, and we did speak about this, something of a 2 to 3 year. Because if he's gonna go out there and invest the funding for the manure, or whatever he has to do to make sure
Yeah.
it grows.
So maybe,
This example
I was gonna
says until
say-
further notice.
yeah,
exactly, so
Yeah.
maybe, but we could talk with Jenny to
Yeah.
find out if there's a way to put that language in there. I don't see why
Like a
not.
3 year.
Okay.
contract.
Right? I mean,
Yeah.
Would be.
it's difficult.
Okay,
yeah, I think that it's broad enough in the motion itself.
Yeah.
I move that the board approve the request by John McCarthy to hay mow. Oh, sorry,
yes, okay. Sorry,
I didn't expect you on this one.
Nathan Wapsinski, 431 Exchange, so I'm in butter to the properties, so, and I've kind of been overseeing the hay cutting over numerous contractors or farmers for almost 27 years. So my one question is, currently there's been a individual that's been haying the fields, so I guess is his contract being terminated?
Yes,
Yeah.
It's
No, I think that, so. Contract, he really never signed a contract to do the town-owned parcels. He only had a contract with the Conservation Commission, so he's still gonna take care of conservation. We're not interfering, you don't have jurisdiction
well,
to interfere with them.
this example thing that we're looking at is
Right.
the last contract, and that was for Braun and
They never,
Cassidy.
they never enforced it.
And
The
again, it's a
conservation.
license, so
Oh,
that's
it's
what Jay said, it's not a contract, sorry.
It's a revocable license.
Right.
So we are
Revocable license
revoked
is the
that
difference.
piece.
By agreeing to this license, the prior license
Right, but-
given out is.
But we would send them a letter
We would,
of sorts, right?
we could,
He never signed it.
I know, but
Yeah.
it would be, I know this person.
We could do that as a courtesy.
And the one time that he would show up to do it would be,
Yeah,
Yeah, so no, I would
Yeah.
definitely notify him.
we would notify him that he's no longer allowed to go on the
Yes,
But it
property
is
to do that.
removable, that's why it's not on track per se.
Okay,
We-
sorry, Nate, did we answer your question?
Brian.
Oh, yes, so I guess the other guy's gonna cut the conservation land yet, and then you're gonna do some other parcels?
Right, so like previously, the other guy was supposed to do like Braun and Cassidy and such, those two things specifically, which he hasn't been doing. So we're going to change that over to,
Mr. McCarthy.
Mr. McCarthy, thank you.
So he has been doing Cassidy, the Island Road side and
Okay,
behind my house. Then there's the Dewey property on the corner.
Has
That
he-
didn't get done this year because conservation put a sign in front of the entrance, so they couldn't get their equipment in there to cut that. So that remained uncut this year. So,
Are we gonna have to move the sign
That's,
with
and
him?
that's an item for the Conservation Commission. Certainly, if the sign is blocking that entrance, we wanna have some conversations with them to remedy that.
it got moved.
Okay.
It took a little time, but it got moved, so that never got cut.
so that must be a conservation commission, discussion with that gentleman in terms of having
Yeah.
him do the work there, right? Because that's outside of our jurisdiction, right?
Yeah,
You can only do the
that's
select
land
board.
controlled by the Conservation
Right.
Commission.
And then as far as, you know, so paying the field is one thing, but then brush hogging and maintaining the perimeter of your property, because it keeps growing in every year. So just like the trustees are taking all the trees down and cutting all that stuff, so you have encroachment, so are you planning on doing brush hogging and cutting back?
That might be my plan, but I want to ensure that whatever I do is in compliance with the expectations and requirements of the Conservation Commission. And the town, so I know that, certainly could be, there is certainly more grassed area around the perimeter of the fields that could be cut. But I don't know if there's a requirement to kind of maintain it as it is, and just not cut it. You know, I haven't had that conversation yet, so I'll follow whatever the direction is on that.
Okay, and round bales, square bales?
Square bits,
Square bales,
so there won't be any marshmallows left in the fields.
and then you'll be taking them off the site?
Yeah.
After you're cut, cause
Yes,
the other individual left the round bales out and just removed them 2 weeks ago, so.
right, yeah, well, round bales are different, square bales won't do well. sitting on-
Depends if you wrap them, but I don't think you can wrap square bales.
Yeah, not typically, it can be done.
And then you're local,
I'm in Framingham.
you're in Framingham, so you'll be bringing your equipment over and.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I just know this is gonna be fantastic, being part of this. By default, I just have been through 1, 2, 3, 4 different farmers over the years, so. Hopefully this goes well, and make sure that you have, if you want to inquire with Jim and myself or myself on the requirements, I'd be glad to like have my input, because there are, you know, some other things to look at, so, all right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
So we are gonna go to the Conservation Commission. John and I will make an appointment, so they know what he's actually putting down, and it's all organic. That he's gonna use, so.
Okay, great.
All right, I move that the board approve the request by John McCarthy to hay mow town-owned properties under the select board's jurisdiction at Cassidy Field, Island Road Field, and the Braun property pending approval of a license agreement detailing any restrictions and the time frame.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a quick, no, sure, this is personal, give me 1 second. How do you know that, how do you know what's worth your while? Is it acreage?
That is a question.
Is it
Um,
quality of the grass? How do you know?
yeah, I suppose. First of all, you need the acreage for sure, you know.
Like how
2
many?
acres isn't worth it.
Okay,
You know, when I originally looked, I knew the Braun property was probably 10-15 acres of open grassed area.
okay.
And there are a couple of other people in the area who have some hay ground as well. And, you know, partly this is sort of a thing, it's, it's kind of like a, photocopier salesman calling up and he knows he needs to make 100 phone calls to get 2 appointments and he knows he needs to make 10 appointments to get 1 sale. So he needs to make 1,000 calls. So that's really where I start and just significant, okay, 10 acres, that's worthwhile to a degree in its own. And hopefully there'll be something else within the area.
Okay, I got it.
Because then it turned out there was, more acreage than the town had, so.
Well, give us a little time, we'll find you some more.
Mine are.
That's what I'm thinking, but I don't think it's gonna pass, Jim.
I think,
Thank
what's shown up so far, I'll be kept busy for this. Getting it back into good shape.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're
Good
working,
luck.
we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen,
That land?
it is what it is, not enough apparently.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're now in open session items, review approval of the 2025 Chevrolet Silverado contract for the DPW.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So this was appropriate, the funds were appropriated at a town meeting. Vehicle is ready and we should be getting that probably hopefully before the first snow. So I would ask that you, town administrator sign a contract to Liberty Chevrolet in the amount of $90,370. That includes the radio, the paint job and everything else.
I move the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign a contract with Liberty Chevrolet for the purchase of a 2025 Chevrolet Silverado platform truck with plow and accessories for an amount not to exceed $90,370.
Second. Been moved and seconded, all those in favor? Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Jim.
And we'll be back, the streetlights, we'll be back on the 15th,
Okay,
at the December.
Okay.
meeting.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next. Let's flip my page. Next, we have award a bid for plaster repairs to the Lansing Mills building.
That's me.
Yes.
So we're, a little update on the train station, calling it the train station. The exterior repairs are 100% complete. Except for 2 exterior lights, as far as I know. I have the lights, I just gotta get them up there. So now it's time, as many of you know or don't know, we're trying to raise funds for the interior repairs. Everybody's told me not to tell you how much I've raised, because if you're thinking of giving me money, that you won't give me money, because you think I have enough money, but I don't have enough money. So I'm gonna tell you how much we've raised so far, which is a little bit over $30,000. I'm looking for $100,000, but for right now, a little over 30 is good, because that's enough money for the biggest piece of this puzzle, which is the plaster. So the walls are a mess. A couple of ceilings need to be replaced completely, because they're the old fashioned 8x8 stick-em ceiling that is awful. So I would like to award that. We brought in 3 bids, Mike, that I sent to you.
Yeah.
And the lowest was
$29,455 from Bourne Plastering Inc.
And I met with that gentleman and he's, the good thing about him, which maybe you care or not, but I do, is not just a plasterer that goes in and repair and puts up board in a brand new building. He is, sort of an artist when it comes to working with existing messes. And this is a mess that, is existing. So I'm very much looking forward, and he's ready to start the first week of December. Exciting.
All right. I move that the board approve and authorize the town administrator to sign a contract with Bourne Plastering Inc. for interior repair work at 64 Exchange Street in the amount not to exceed $29,455 and to be funded through the Lansing Millis Gift Fund.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
When do you think this will all be said and done and we'll have the grand opening?
Spring. No question, spring.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Very exciting. And if you want to donate towards that, effort, there is a link on the main page of the, town website where you can donate to the train station fund. Next up, we have select board liaison updates. Anybody have anything? I do not.
I do not, I went to town meeting.
I went to town.
Oh, please.
Alan, what do you got?
What do I have? I have so many. I wrote them all down. But I don't know where I put them,
Oh,
but
I say we move on then.
stop it. Here we go. I had, well, Bob Weissly,
Yeah,
we had the sewer, Charles River Pollution Control on November 13th, nothing to report there. But we had an energy meeting on 11/18 where this organization came in for Millis to become a tree city.
oh,
Have you heard of that?
no,
Me neither. But at some point, maybe they'll come in, Bob will come in and talk about it, but it's not that hard. But you have to have a tree bylaw.
sure,
I don't think we have one.
okay,
I know,
Not that type of tree bylaw.
Right.
Which talks about, having to replace trees if you take down trees and
Right.
trees that get put in as certain types of developments
yeah,
that are part of the planning board,
right,
operation.
and it also covers like private property,
interesting,
which.
It's a little more of a delicate part, so
Yes.
that's why it would have to be approved at town meeting.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
okay,
seriously.
I got some tree work that needs doing before this passes.
I know, right? So the only tree thing that I found in the zoning bylaw was on scenic roads.
Yes.
So we don't really have, we're not there yet. But if it's something that the Energy Commission wants to take a look at, they'll be back. And then the other thing, Erin, that we both went to,
Oh, we
was
did?
kind of cool.
we did, okay, yes. We
You have
went,
a void.
we went to an elected women's reception held by, Senator Becca Rausch. And,
First
yeah,
annual.
yeah, the first annual. And we got to, there were a number of us from Millis that came, including Board of Health, library trustee, and the two of us. And we were able to meet other women elected officials from area towns and talk about, their select board makeup and things like that. It was a nice
really-
event.
It was better than I expected.
So
as
thank you,
usual.
Becca, for
Yes,
that.
but we
Where,
have,
where was it?
It was at Unlikely Story, the bookstore in Plainville.
Oh, neat.
It was in the upper section, which is interesting because that's where the writer does his work.
Diaries of a
Well,
Lucky Kid.
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So it was a very cool bookstore in Plainville. We spoke with, in particular, we spoke with two women select board members from Sherburne. They have a 5-member board
In Sherburne,
in Sherburne,
yes.
and they have the same problems we do. So it was
It was interesting.
very interesting.
Well, thank you for that, Ellen. I didn't think of that one.
Yep.
Well, I am not a select board member, but I will share on the same vein that I am a member of the Women Leading Government for the state of Massachusetts, and we had a conference recently, and very, very interesting as well.
Mhm.
It's kind of a fun thing.
Yeah.
Watch out, gentlemen.
I
Oh,
know.
yes.
We're coming.
Fine,
You're out, you're
You're
outnumbered.
outnumbered.
you can have it. Have at it.
Take it.
We need you. We need you.
All right, next up, we have review and approve the water and sewer commitments.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm requesting that the board approve the water and sewer commitment for October 2025 for a total of $7,274.48.
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
I,
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. And Madam Chair, I'm requesting that the board approve the water and sewer commitment for the second quarter of FY 26 for a total of $1,246,257.13.
So moved.
second,
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
I,
Aye, motion carries unanimously. Let's see, and then the next thing we have is to consider closing non-emergency municipal departments on December 26th. Yes,
Madam Chair, in light of the fact that the Christmas holiday falls on a Thursday, this year, I am recommending the board, close, non-emergency municipal departments on that Friday. Most of those departments are actually only scheduled to work a half day on Fridays, and in the past, the board has generally approved similar requests when the Christmas holiday fell on a Thursday. And so it's pretty standard. Every 5-6 years, it happens to fall this way, and the board has usually allowed, and usually not a big business day, the day after Christmas. That's there for the board's consideration.
I move that the board approve the closure of all non-emergency municipal departments on Friday, December 26th, 2025.
Second.
moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. And last, we have the review and approval of draft minutes from November 18th.
I move the board approve the draft minutes from the following select board meetings as written, 11/18/2025.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
I move the board enter executive session to discuss strategy sessions in preparation for contract negotiations with union and non-union personnel, fire chief, town administrator, PFOM local 4704, and return only to open session for the purpose of adjourning the meeting.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded, I'll do roll call. Ellen?
Yes.
Craig?
Yes.
I'm a yes. So we are now adjourned. Thank you, everybody that did attend, and especially Scott, who's still in attendance. And thank you to Millis Community Media, as always. Everybody have a great night.
Happy Thanksgiving.
And happy Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Happy, yeah.
You're not saying, all right.
I was gonna say happy Hanukkah, but I don't think